Everybody, Sive here with ForexPeaceArmy.com. Let's update and review on euro currency. So in general, in recent couple of weeks, we're considering bearish performance since we've got the bearish pattern on the weekly chart, and mostly our updates are dedicated to actually setups and the choosing of the trading points where we could take the position, estimating targets. It's just trading routine that we're usually following. So what we have today, you could see that market is keep going lower. So our last discussion was not in vain. We have discussed a few options for position taking, consider conservative approach, consider mixed approach. So that's not occasionally we said that maybe it makes sense to split position if you would like to take it, because it's well, happen some surprises that not always, and mostly we could say that as a rule, market does not exactly reach the levels that you would like to get when you're thinking about the position taking. So this time it happens approximately the same. So we could see yesterday we identified the grabbers here, and we said keep an eye on, probably it makes sense to take position with the grabbers or split in parts, taking some position here, and if market by some reason will show the ABC retracement, take the next part when it will be completed. But you can see that markets just keep going right from the grabbers to the downside. So since we're dealing with the head and shoulders, currently when the right arm already stands in place, normally bears have no choice but keep pushing market lower to complete the target, which is approximately around 1580. 1577, where actually major fib support stands. Correspondingly, what we need to keep an eye on currently is performance in this wood of different levels. So all of them are important, they are valid, and if we see some signs of the reversal, some weakness in the bearish performance, once market will move slightly below the neckline, it might be the warning sign, and if market really reversed up and returned back above the neckline, that might be the drastic change in the sentiment on the market. So in this case, it might be just reversal and upward acceleration. Although currently we do not see any signs of that, and actually bearish pattern on the weekly chart is still valid, and performance on the weekly suggests that probably we could get here some acceleration. But we will see. Today is an important day. We will get the preliminary gross domestic product numbers. We will get the European Central Bank meeting. Yesterday, by the way, this was last report of the Jerome Powell on as a head of the Fed, but he intends to stay in a committee, which means that providing of the really soft policy will be a bit more complex for Wash. And that probably also makes some impact on the sentiment on the markets, supporting the dollar, and maybe not really strong, but this is also the thing that probably we have to take into consideration. So what we could get today, if you take a look at the hourly chart, the riddle with our triangle consolidation has been over. Market is broken through this area. Correspondingly, for today, we will consider two possible targets of the butterfly. One stands very close already, is 1650. Next one will be 1620. So that's two targets probably market could try to reach, depending on what data we will get today. But probably, since we also have here corresponding support areas, so you can see this, we have 1650 at 50% support, next on 1636, 1606. So here's a lot of support areas, and I think that the breakout here might be not as fast as we would like to get, but it also will depend on the data. Another reason why I suggest this possible performance stands on the Great British pound. So if you take a look on the cross-market analysis, you will see that first we have the grabber pattern here on the daily chart, suggesting drop below these lows. Correspondingly on lower time frame, you could see that this might be kind of the ABCD, the taking out of these lows, and here is also a butterfly may be formed. It's 134.15 area approximately. So taking it all together, downside continuation on the euro currency seems also reasonable. And finally, important detail on the dollar index. So if we take a look at the weekly chart, if you remember, we talked about two contradictive patterns here. It's possible bearish grabber on this unclosed week yet, and confirmed bullish grabber that corresponds to the euro currency grabber as well. So as we expect some upward action, downside action on the euro currency, on Great British pound, dollar could move slightly above, and close price might be above the MA30, which means that we could just not get this grabber this week. And in this case, everything will be just okay, in harmony with the euro currency, dollar index, Great British pound, and so on. So that's actually towards what we have. Currently, speaking about the new position taken on the euro currency, I do not know, because you will, in this case, you will meet with the volatility on European Central Bank meeting and gross domestic product release. I do not see the necessity to do this. So maybe after that, since it's still a big way until the 114 lows, if everything goes there with the weekly grabber, so probably it makes sense to just see how market will react, what the performance will be, and later when it will be come down a bit, to consider possible taking of the new position. If you haven't, because we already have got two chances for entry, we will get more definitely, because it's still extended target, and market will keep going to, if it will keep going maybe 1-2 weeks, so it's a lot of opportunities still will be. That's why currently, just at the eve of the big reports, maybe it is not the best case for the current situation. So that's probably all for me for now. Let's just see how market will play out and return back to the subject tomorrow.